Okay, we're back for more Vintage Cube. Welcome to my YouTube channel. What are we working with here? I see a Minsk and Boo and a Mystic Confluence. I'll go for Minsk and Boo. Minsk and Boo is sure it's two colors, but I think it's relatively easy to splash. So best case scenario, we're gonna end up red and green. But to be honest, any two-color deck that's like, what do I know? Blue, green, splash red, red, white, splash green, whatever it is. It's just gonna be an insane card because it's so good to splash. Yeah, Minsk and Boo over Mystic Confluence. If I was here to like fool around, you could consider something like Time Twister. But yeah, from there's like a pretty big drop off. No good card to start like a monocolored deck like green, red, or white. But yeah, very clear Minsk and Boo is the first pick. What can we follow that up with? So, first of all, I love Dismember. Having a colorless removal spell that is 100% to make your deck is awesome. Then, aside from that, I think the best card in this pack is Inti. Inti is not quite a Dark Confidant, but it's quite close. And sometimes you have some extra synergies, like, oh, it enables reanimation, or you have other cards that can, like, discard and create value. So for me, it's going to be between those two cards. And the thing about Inti is I'll play that in any deck. In any red deck, rather. So that's kind of a plus. Dismember is the safe pick. Inti is like the better card if it works out. I'll try the Inti. It's also more fun to play with, I guess. With that being said, we're getting past no good, cheap red, no good, cheap green. So had I taken the Dismember, right now I guess I would be slightly more happy. This could be early enough that Gristlebrand is a cool pick. What is kind of sad is I'm passing Life Death, but maybe I'll live with that. So let's see. What else can we do here if we don't take Gristlebrand? Then we can take Copperline Gorge. If this was like a Taiga or Triome, I would probably take it. Let's try and take Gristlebrand and see where that takes us. Passing up on some solid blue, solid white card. Let's see. Gristlebrand is in for now. Okay, next pack. Best card by quite a mile is Hexdrinker. And since that's on color with like Inti and Minsk and Boo, I'm probably going to take that card. Let's say I was heavier invested in black. Let's say I had a black card instead of Inti or a black card instead of Minsk and Boo. I could consider Inquisition, but yeah, pretty clear Hexdrinker here, passing on some more, I guess, medium cards. This is, I mean, Hexdrinker, Inti, and Minsk and Boo. That's an awesome start for red-green. Let's see if we can somehow manage to combine that with the Gristlebrand. Huh. Now is a important pick, I would say, because the Troll is very good in Reanimator and just as a fixer as a whole. But I could also abandon the Reanimation plan and say Grim Monolith or Chrome Box. Those cards are too good to pass up here. Minsk and Boo is very good with Chrome Box. Maybe I can try and go like red-green aggressive deck. I'll try. I'll go for the Chrome here. Let's see if I instantly regret it or I look like a genius. Looks like neither. Okay, this pack is not the best. I guess a card like Dark Confidant, in case I get the mana for it, is going to be strong in this deck. I guess I'll take Dark Confidant. This is not good news for me at all. Dark Confidant and Adeline being the best cards in this pack. I'm not going to say the Gristlebrand is back on the menu, but let's see. Like, if I can end up like red-black, splash, Hexdrinker, and Minsk and Boo. The good thing about Hexdrinker is, while it's, it's good to be able to cast a turn 1, I don't have to cast a turn 1 for it to be strong, right? This is looking quite cool, but I have a lot of work to do if I plan to play all of these cards. Then I need to build up good mana, I need to build up reanimation stuff, but I would say realistically, I'm not playing the Gristlebrand. But let's see. Let's see, what do we have here? Not a whole lot of like EC cards to slot right into my deck and be very happy. I guess the Nissa is the best card here, and maybe even the best card for me on top of that. Like, Monastery Mentor is awesome, but, I mean, that's not going to happen. Titan is not my favorite fatty. Valky, God of Lies, is serviceable if I was sure I was going to be base black. Okay, I'm going to take the Nissa here. This is another, like, great haymaker, to be honest. So now I can take Avacyn's Pilgrim, which is a mana elf that helps me with a color I'm most likely not going to play, but I still think it's fine. It's still like Flame Inscanbu and Nissa one turn ahead of schedule. Huh. I'm still living the I guess red-green dream here. This is Hearse for the board or Endurance for the main. I think Endurance is kind of does a similar thing, but is better when it doesn't work. If that makes sense. Okay, so I guess. Yeah, okay. I'm kind of confused about that. So I guess green is open. That's a good thing. We go for Castle. I have Chrome Box and I have Mana Acceleration. Maybe this is a good Castle deck. Okay, let's take the Castle. And there's a Grave Titan, but I'm going to take the land here. I didn't notice the land at first. This land is going to help me, cast my spells. So, realistically, things are looking like this. Confidant out, Gristlebrand out. I play red-green, cheat some stuff out, like have a good mana curve, and try and cheat it out. These cards don't do a whole lot. Is there any world I'm playing the Bomat? Is there any world I'm playing the Scrubland? I'm really not sure. Let's take the Scrubland. Some weird thing can happen, like I get some black fetch and I open for Theolingus, something along those lines. Okay, Manglehorn is not terrible. That's at least a decent sideboard card. Savannah, same theory as the Scrubland. Primeval Titan, most likely not going to play that card. Okay, so red-green, good card quality, decent curve. We have the skeleton for something good here. I'm going to be looking for stuff like birds, the nobles, some more hasty creatures up the curve, cards like Bombardier, Gut, cheap interaction like Lightning Bolt, Flame Slash, etc. Yeah, I think we have a plan here. Okay, so here's the best accelerant, but there's also a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. So I think I have to take the Fable of the Mirror Breaker here. That card is just too good to pass up. I also like Pest Infestation and Skullclamp out of this pack. So, I mean, what can we wheel anything here? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think we can wheel something. For sure. Let's take Fable over Birds. Fable is just so strong, right? You get the 2/2 right away. That 2/2 ramps up your mana. You can then filter your hand, and then you get some value in the back end of that card. Yeah. Very, very strong card. I remember it took a while when that card was printed to kind of realize how awesome Fable of the Mirror Breaker is. It's also kind of a confusing design, or like, just imagine you've never seen a saga before, and then, oh, go ahead and read this card. Not going to be easy, right? Next pack, we have Taiga, very high pick, but there's also Lelia. I mean, Lelia is very, very good, and I'm going to take it, but I wonder if I'm still able to get like a perfect mana base for my 2-color deck. That's definitely a concern as well. With that being said, I'm gonna take Prismatic Vista out of this deck because now I'm taking it over. I don't know, like Oddity. I think the boat has sailed on the Archon Gristlebrand plan. So yeah, now is a good time to take Fixing. I think that's one of the biggest things about Vintage Cube where most players can improve is when to take Fixing or when to go into a certain color without forcing it. I think those two things are really something that's worth working on. Okay, what do we have here? I think I have for me, Sylvan Caryatid versus Burst Lightning. Well, let's see. Sylvan Caryatid It ramps into Minskenbo and Nissa. It doesn't necessarily help with my 3s. It is a 5-color fixer, so I think I have to take it. Burst Lightning is decent, of course. It's tough, because ramping from 2 to 4 might not be, insane, but I'll go for it. Now we have an interesting one. I can take a tapped duel or a less good, yet still a mana elf. I think we're going to go for the mana elf, because turn 1 elf, turn 2, any of these 3 drops, I guess, aside from endurance, is just so strong. Yeah, let's go for the mana elf here. Getmir's Garden, also like a decent shout. Okay, so a card like, let's quickly see how good is a card like Green Sun Zenith in this deck. 2 mana mana elf, not exciting. Extra Hex Drinker later in the game, pretty exciting. 4 mana endurance, not very exciting. So I don't think Zenith right now is insane in the deck, but maybe it is later. What's the alternative? It's like Curve Topper, Inferno Titan, or just Metamorph. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Zenith. Ooh, very nice Stomping Ground. Definitely going to take that. Now I have Stomping Ground, Copper Line, and Prismatic Vista. That's huge for this mana base. This is the perfect spot to take land, right? With no spells in the pack. Because when you go turn 1 Llanowar Elves and you want to play turn 2 Fable or Lelia, you need you need a certain number of red sources. Here I think I'm gonna go for Flame Slash over something like Nissa. I just passed the Burst Lightning. It's kind of hard to expect to see, oh, I'll just get Chain Lightning and Lightning Bolt later. And Flame Slash is actually up there, especially when the deck is about clearing the way and keep attacking. So I'm going to take Flame Slash. I like Nissa, but it's kind of replaceable. I feel like it's way easier to get 4s and 5s that I like later. Okay, so I wield the Cradle, which is one of the cards that I was the least excited about, but that's fine. Wheeling a good card is something that you should keep an eye out for. Like, it's better to get the second and third best card out of the pack than the first and nothing, in my opinion, a lot of the time. So sometimes that can be like the tiebreaker. Yeah, here we're not really looking for anything. Let's just take the Titan of Industry and put it in the sideboard. So let's do a quick playable count here. Let's count the Chrome as a land. So I have 5 lands already. So that means I have 13 playables, which is not like that many, but I hope I'll be fine. Gruul Turf. I don't really like that. Let's take Elvish Reclaimer or Seething Song. The thing about Seething Song is sometimes you get enough like big creatures, dragons, etc. Wow, nice Burst Lightning. That Seething Song is good. I think if I have 3 cards that work with Seething Song, I'm happy. Wow, I even get the land here. And the Inferno Titan. So right now, that's the first card. Coming back to Seething Song. Inferno Titan is the first card that's like really good with the Seething Song. Although it's like dragons. Yeah, I guess sneak attack through the reach is not really going to do it in this deck, but it's cards like that I'm looking for when I'm evaluating Seething Song. Ooh, okay, this pack has some great cards in it. Let's see which is going to be the best for us. There's Bloodstained Mire that lets me double up on the Stomping Ground, always nice. There's Renin 6, red green. I already have 1 fetch, great against small creatures. Yeah, that's not bad. Devoted Druid, pretty good at ramming into 4s and 5s. Rofellos, which can do the same thing basically. Natural Order, comboing with, what do I know, like Titan of Industry. Noble Hierarch, which is just like the bread and butter, turn 1 mana creature, turn 2 good 3-drop. I'm going to take that, and then I hope to wield Renin 6. I don't think that's impossible. There's also a Hull Breacher in the pack, but I don't think I'm supposed to go out of my way and play like 1 island, and then I still only have 3 sources for it. Yeah, I'm just going to take Noble here, but very, very strong pack. What are we looking at here? We're looking at Chain Lightning versus Smuggler's Copter. I like both of those. Maybe it's now I take the Smuggler's Copter, having a flyer in the deck that filters my cards. It makes my elves useful later in the game. Yeah, let's take Smuggler's Copter. I love that card. This is another good choice to have. So let's quickly do a playable count. I have 6 lands. That puts me at 17. I need to get to something like 23, 24. So this is between Seasoned Pyromancer and Arid Mesa. I'm actually going to go Arid Mesa here. I think it's enough. Pyromancer is is mediocre enough that I can justify that pick. Let me put it that way. Pyromancer is a fine card, though. So now I think my mana is good to go, and it's time to fill out the deck. Also, let's say I'm kind of scrapping for playables in the end. It's totally reasonable to play something like Manglehorn. That's not embarrassing. So here, if I take the Carnosaur, it's kind of like a split removal spell and fatty. I don't think that's terrible, but maybe it's Ooze. Ooze is pretty good in creature matchups, disrupts graveyards, and is good for my curve. Yeah, it's probably going to be Ooze here. I take it over Firebolt, I take it over Carnosaur. One thing worth noticing is that if I took the Carnosaur, I would have like 2 cards that's good with Seething Song already. But it's not like... It's not that important. Here I'm going to easily take the Gut. Gut is something that really likes when the cheaper cards in your deck kind of run out of steam. And that's like the definition of a Mana Dork. Like, Mana Dork doesn't serve a purpose on turn like 4 or 5 or whatever. And then if it can turn into a 4/1 menacing skeleton, that's the dream. So now I have Gut, Lelia, and Fable. Like, so good 3-drops. Okay, what are we looking at here? The only card that's like in my colors is going to be Tireless Tracker. I have 2 fetches. That gives me something to do in the late game so I don't like flood out. This deck, let's say you draw kind of a bad land spell ratio. Tracker is a card that can bail you out from that. I'm taking it over Shadow Spear, I guess. Shadow Spear would be good against an aggressive deck, but I like the Tracker. Okay, this pack has a Mind Collapse, which is decent, especially in a deck like this, where it's like there's only one way, and that's forward. Then a card like Mind Collapse is going to do work. Other than that, is Tarmogoyf, I guess. I guess Once Upon a Time, if you value that. I'm actually going to go for the removal here. I think clearing the way for like Skeletons, Lelia, keeping the Monarch, stuff like that is going to be pretty awesome. Now I can even bolster my mana base here. The Wayfinder isn't like that's super mediocre. So let's bolster our mana base. That's our 3rd fetch land. And we did wield the Wrenn and 6, so... And we wield everything here. So let's take the Wrenn and 6. Wrenn and 6 is good with 3 fetches. It's good against weenies. I guess it's good to like keep the land drops coming with Tracker, stuff like that. Okay, so now I can choose between a card against Grind, Escape, or a card against Weenie in Delayed Blast Fireball. Wonder what I'm the most scared of. Maybe I have enough against like smaller creatures. I'll go for the Escape. Might play it over the Inferno Titan, actually. Wow, I even got back the Seasoned Pyromancer. So let's put that in the deck as well. Here I'm not going to play anything. Let's just take the Badlands. Yeah, I don't think I'm playing Sakura. The thing about Sakura is, while it's like it is red fixing, it's a card that is not staying in play. Like Caryatid, let's compare those two. Caryatid is staying in play. That means it can block like more than once if I'm trying to defend the Monarch. And I can sack it to Gut later while it still, helped me ramp in the meantime. So it's just going to be worse there. Maybe Zenith is actually out of here. I don't have that much flexibility. So what am I looking at here? If I add 9 cards, I go to 17 lands plus Chrome. I think that's 1 too many, so I need to play 1 card from my sideboard. That's a decent situation to be in. No problem there at all. It's very possible it's going to be the Sakura, actually, because... Well, yeah, this is not really a good Sakura deck, but maybe it's fine. Maybe it's just Inferno Titan. Let's see. How much am I ramping here? Let me quickly see. Ramping there. 5 ramps. Yeah, the 6-drop is not that interesting. Maybe I just take the Manglehorn. Oftentimes there's going to be an artifact to shoot at. I'm thinking about going 16 lands with a Cradle. 16 lands with a Cradle. It's probably fine. I have the Ren and 6 as well. Okay, so let's see if we can count red sources here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 red. So that means I need to... let's just, for the sake of argument, say I go to 9. Then I count green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Okay, so my mana is going to be great here. I have like 13, 9. Maybe I can go 12, 10 instead. I think that's going to be fine. Then I'm at 17 lands. I don't think I need that. So maybe go 11. I think this is going to be good. Now I have all my like good stuff up the curve. I have Escape as a grindy card, Port as a grinding card, Tracker as a grinding card, and then just a lot of cards that's trying to reduce my opponent's life total, and some ways to, you know, clear out the blockers between Burst Lightning, Flame Slash, Mind Collapse. I guess Ren and 6, kill small stuff in a pinch, get in for some menace damage, some trample damage, a little bit of flying from Copter. Yeah, this deck looks like it can definitely do a good job. Didn't see any power this draft, so I mean, obviously we can get just overpowered, but that's always the name of the game. All right, that'll do it for the draft and build portion. I can't wait to play this red-green monsters deck. Don't go anywhere. Okay, round 1. I won the die roll, and I have a sketchy hand. I think my card quality here is good enough that I'm going to keep this hand, but yeah, really, really not ideal here. If I draw a land, I think I'm off to the races. If I don't, then I can play another mana dork. Maybe Pilgrim is good to play. The upside and downside here is Pilgrim attacks for the most in case I don't draw my land. And it's also my worst one. So if it gets killed, I mean, I would rather have the Noble, but some small stuff. The downside is, let's say I draw like Hexdrinker, then I can double spell. Yeah, so now the opponent can kind of smell blood in the water here. Yeah. Bowmasters is, yeah, almost the absolute worst that can happen. Ah. Oh. Yeah, not ideal. So I had 2 draws to, you know, find the land and be pretty happy, I would say. Oh, okay, fair enough. The opponent's going to copy Bowmaster, going to kill my Avacyn, and it's over. Okay, fair enough. That's a game 1. So I'm not going to adjust too much here. I think I'm just going to, you know, draw land in my top 2 instead. Okay, so this hand is not explosive, but I think it's good enough. Like, turn 2 Copter. I do have to realize that the Copter does not help Cradle. Let's see if we get punished for that. Ooh, that would be a brutal start. The double mana dork 1-lander not working out. And then here, if we stall on lands, stall on lands once more, that would be brutal. Sometimes that's just what happens, like, twice in the same match and you're just out of there. Now the opponent even has that info, which is kind of scary. Oh, the opponent went to cleanup there. Astral Dragon. That is potentially a problem. Potentially a darn big problem. I do draw the land. Okay. So I wonder what I do here. Feel like I can start like getting in there with skeletons. Is that good? If I get in there with skeletons, I go gut, crew, attack, still get the loot in, then sack the copter to make a skeleton. I'll try that. So let's sack the copter. Draw. Minsk and Boo. That could be awesome. So let's get rid of the fort. Get him for 4. And then I guess we see Animate Dead now, which is scary. And then I kind of have to see how on earth do I beat that card. So now what is the opponent going to do? Oh, okay. I see. I didn't really... Yeah, that card is just so confusing. So now my opponent has a token basic land creature island dragon. Manglehorn does not a lot right now. So what happens if I go Minsk and Boo? No, maybe that's not how I play. What happens if I go, let's see, Cradle is 2 mana. Can I play 2 spells this turn? I guess that's what I'm asking. I can if I go Lelia. Okay, I can go Lelia, Manglehorn. Let's do that. Lelia, Manglehorn, and now I wonder. I think the play is going to be attack with Skeleton, attack with Lelia, kill Astral Dragon. So I do like this. Sacrifice Manglehorn. Kill the dragon. And then my opponent is really under pressure here. My opponent can most likely not just take 11 here. Block there, reasonable. Take 8. Lose one of the lands. Yeah, the opponent needs to, like, Damnation or something here to be in this game. I guess Toxic Deluge for 2 will do it as well. Yeah, I mean, a card like Gut here is just absurd forcing through damage, right? The Menace is just so good. And the thing is, it's doing it without even endangering itself. Is this the Toxic? That would be so strong. Okay. I wonder what the opponent's going to do here. Image. Okay. So now the opponent needs Orcish Bowmasters to beat me, which is very possible, unfortunately. Okay, they don't have Bowmasters. Oof, that's just insanely action-packed games. The opponent had turn 3 Astral Dragon. That's 9 power. But a card like Gut can just power through, obviously. The Mind Collapse also helped. So let's see. Can we do anything about that? The Bowmasters is very annoying. Does Zenith do anything? I don't think so. Maybe Manglehorn is not that great, but we don't have that much info on the opponent's deck. I think I'm just gonna run it back here. It's scary about the cradle that sometimes it's insane, sometimes it's worse than a forest. And here it was definitely insane. It let me, yeah, play a 3-drop by tapping 1 land. So pretty awesome. Okay, this hand is not that bad, but this is like the good old. If you don't have like a dual heavy mana base, you'll have these Llanowar Elves, Seasoned Pyromancer hands. Where I like that we are in good shape against. Nevermind. I was about to say we're in good shape against some reanimation stuff, but now at least my opponent's going to know about it. If my opponent does not take the Llanowar Elves, I'm slowly but surely preparing myself to have Llanowar Elves get killed by Bowmasters. Yeah, that's a good draw. Maybe I do that. Now my opponent has perfect info, but this lets me go turn 2 Seasoned Pyromancer in case my Llanowar survives. Dark Confidant. Okay. Super reasonable card. So maybe this is a good spot to go Young Pyromancer, discard 2 lands. I don't get extra 1/1s, but I get to discard 2 lands, and chances are I'm going to draw a spell on a land, and that way it's like, it's good, right? Okay, the opponent has active Dark Confidant. There's the Reanimate. Reanimate is... yeah, that's just a great card. If they can somehow get me to Endurance Pitch, it's probably fine value, and they have the card flow running with Dark Confidant, so a lot of trades. What you're looking to do if you have like active Dark Confidant, you're the Monarch, you have Library Alexandria, whatever, you want to like just keep trading 1-for-1, and then when the dust settles, you're just winning because you have more cards. And when you're facing stuff like that, you want to like kill the opponent as fast as possible. Ledger Shredder, it's a good card to stem the bleeding from the like bad creatures I have in play right now. Stomping Ground. So maybe I go Stomping Ground and I get ready to Endurance. Is that right? Maybe it's better to just play out the Ooze. Yeah, let's play out the Ooze. Okay. Yeah, the 1-2 punch of turn 1 Inquisition, turn 2 Dark Confidant. That was just super strong, right? Okay. So the opponent's gonna Subtlety. Pitch Subtlety, even. Am I gonna draw the Ooze? I have the Endurance, so maybe I just... I'll try and bottom the Ooze. Let's see. So now if my opponent's hand is something like... yeah, I don't even know. Phantasmal Image. Huh. So now the opponent can do some shenanigans with, like, reanimate the Subtlety, image the Subtlety, and all of a sudden my opponent has very, very high number of flying damage. Yeah, I think I'm just losing this game. Let's see. There's Image. The opponent gets the loot because it's their second spell. So they can Image Seasoned Pyromancer here. And... oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, this is quite strong. Because now the opponent gets to discard 2 cards, keep the Reanimate, then reanimate whatever they want. Okay. So they get to reanimate Rankle, get in for a bunch of damage in the air. And then I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble when the opponent just has a bigger board than me, right? Because now I'm going to draw. What am I going to draw? Like some cards that don't really match up. Okay, they didn't go for the reanimation. So at least now the opponent can attack for 2. Okay. They chose a slightly different route that I would have believed. Okay, so play Noble. And then I guess I'll try and attack. That's fine. I'll try and attack for 3. I'm happy with more or less any trade here. Getting in for damage is not bad either. I'm holding up Endurance. And my opponent's last card is Reanimate. Okay. This is fine. I have a Pyromancer in my yard. I guess my opponent can force me to shuffle. They target my Pyromancer. I guess I didn't think too much about that. Jace's Prodigy, good value card, no doubt about that. I expect my opponent to reanimate on my Pyromancer. If they don't, I get to end step Endurance and flash it back, so to speak, next turn. Okay. So first, let's see what the opponent gets from... Okay, they just bin a click. I'm going to flash in my Endurance here, shuffle. I don't want my opponent to get a 2-2 and draw cards. Now I even think it's tough for the opponent to attack. Yeah, they don't even attack. Huh. So let's see. What do we have coming here? We have Jace's Prodigy. Flashing back. I don't even know. Like, Imperial Seal is going to be tough on the life. I draw Tracker. Tracker could do something. The good thing about Tracker here is it makes it so that spells are naturally good draws, and lands are now also good draws, right? The opponent flips a land off Confidant. Jace transforms, so now the opponent has a plan. I need to address that at some point. Now they can flashback something like Unearth on the image. Is that good? Yeah, maybe they should have thought about that. But the opponent could have gone -3 on Unearth, reanimate image, copy Tracker, then play land, and then they can kind of grind me out. But now I'm curious what they do. They do target Unearth. They do target image. The fact that I bottomed that Ooze, I remember I was pretty scared at that point. But I'm not sure that drawing an average card is... No, well, drawing an average card is certainly worse. But I'm not sure trying to draw a better card was the move. And animate dead. Ooh, that's brutal. So there's a Rankle. So pretty cool that my Endurance is really keeping back my opponent's stuff here. That's kind of cool. Minsk and Boo. That is a monstrous draw. Minsk and Boo. So what do I do? So let's try and see here. Minsk and Boo can put a counter on any creature with trample or haste. None of my stuff has those stats, unfortunately. Okay, Minsk and Boo. So what I can do, if I really wanted to, is kill Confidant, draw 1 card, but I don't think that's the way to go. Let's see. Minsk and Boo, yes, please. Put counter on. And all I can do here is pass the turn. So now I am basically looking to set up a situation where Minsk and Boo is a must deal with. The opponent draws Orcish Bowmasters, which is a very good draw, unfortunately. I'm trying to set up a situation where Minsk and Boost must deal with, and it kind of motivates bad attacks from the opponent, and I can try and punish the other way. But I think with the Bowmaster draw, it's really going to be tough. Also, the opponent uses Jace to minus my endurance power, meaning I can't eat the Rankle in case of a double attack. And I would have to chum block the Shredder. Rankle and Tracker getting in there. Not sure about the Tracker getting in there, but I think I'm supposed to keep the Minsk and Boo alive. Let's see. If I go eat Tracker with Boo, my opponent can finish off Boo. And maybe that's not what I want. Maybe I'm supposed to do that. My Minsk and Boo takes 2 damage, 1 more from Bowmaster. Yeah, I think this is how I play. Now the opponent can choose each player sacrifice a creature. No, they can't because they attack Planeswalker. Never mind. There's a work desk. So the reality of the situation is I hope to attack with a 7/7 hamster next turn and try and put my opponent dead, right? Okay, the opponent chooses Malcolm. I think Malcolm is going to be fine. Okay, the opponent gets 1 more loot in here. That's cool. Hand is Bowmaster. Draw a card. Discard a land. Okay, so the opponent now can play an Orcish Bowmaster. So they have 4 toughness to defend with. Yeah, this is surprisingly... The opponent goes to 6 here. I bet they're... What? Why did the opponent shoot my hamster? Okay, let's not put another hamster into play. First Lightning, I think that'll do it. Let's see. Put 3 counters on Boo. Attack with an 8/8. That's 2 toughness, 3 toughness, 4 toughness, 5 toughness. So, does this even kill the hamster? Let's see. No, it doesn't. That's funny. So, damage. The opponent's down to 3, and I can kick my Burst Lightning. Boom. Wow, that's I think the opponent could have played a little bit better in the mid game here. I feel like at some point the advantage was just too big. And then there was the small stuff about like image the tracker, then play out the land. That wasn't really optimal. I feel like I was supposed to lose this game. The opponent had 12 cards in the deck. I have 31. I mean, this almost can't be true. But I mean, the power of Minsk and Boo here. If that card is left unchecked, can just win the game. And the Dark Confidant chip damage, it added up in the end. But yeah, that was a cool showcase of Minsk and Boo versus, I mean, half of the opponent's deck, if not more. We got there. That's awesome. Let's see if we can win some more matches. All right, while the opponent is revealing what looks to be a companion, welcome back. Let's try and get some more wins on the board. I'm playing red-green monsters. And this is a terrible hand. First play is Endurance on turn 3. That's just not going to cut it. The opponent did reveal Lurrus. I'm going to hit the mulligan button. This is marginally better, but not amazing. So let's get rid of the Chrome Mox. I'm going to keep this hand because... how to explain it? This has a lot of potential because I have the turn 1 accelerant, and I have so many good 3s and 4s. So Yeah, let's see. What am I supposed to do here? Maybe I'm supposed to just... Yeah, let's go Forest. Let's go Forest. Yeah, so obviously this hand needs to have some good cards on top of the deck. If it does, I like my... You can actually argue that since I bought him the Chrome box, it was wrong to shuffle, because that would randomize my deck. The reason why I did it was, this is not an untap source. And the Stomping Ground, I might be able to save that life. But yeah, I got severely punished by redrawing the Chrome box. That's too funny. I did bring it upon myself, though. I valued the 2 life more than the 1 in 33. I couldn't tell you what's right. I can only tell you that it didn't exactly work out here. So I'm gonna do a terrible play here in a vacuum, but it's the best we can do. And I'm gonna cycle this Jetmir's Garden on my opponent's upkeep before my opponent gets to play, you know, second land Hull Breacher. Oh, not Hull Breacher. Second land Bowmasters. But yeah, this is quite atrocious. I kind of skipped my draw step there. I guess the only scenario is like I draw Nissa and I can imprint the Manglehorn and play it turn 3. That's a scenario where the Chrome box is useful. Turn 2 cycle Triome is really not what I'm dreaming about. Funny. Okay, lots of tiny scenarios coming up here. Okay, so let's play Chrome Mox. Imprint Manglehorn. Play Mountain. Play Nissa. That's so funny. Like, that's the only combination of cards that let me do that. And, I mean, this is basically just me saying, I have Nissa, and that's it. Is that enough to win the game? Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's not. The thing about Nissa in this deck is, it's quote-unquote only like a haymaker trying to reduce my opponent's life total. The mana ramp is not going to be too relevant. Once I have that in play, it's like... It's my big... I guess something with escape into the wilds or whatever it's called, like the big red-green draw spell. And then I can, I guess, play out more cards. It is possible. This looks like Toxic Deluge. Yeah, Toxic Deluge killing 2 creatures. I'm not too worried about. Endurance is a decent draw. So let's see, what's the optimal one to... Maybe it's just like this. I wish I had a play. Trying to make that forest into a 3/3. I definitely plan on developing the endurance before my turn. I think that makes it so that I have lethal next turn. I want to keep it as a surprise, though. While, like, I have mana floating, but I think playing out the endurance there is... It's not good to give my opponent the heads up that they're going to be dead next turn. I guess maybe the opponent's considering a snuff out here. The opponent has a snuff out. Yeah, so I guess the card snuff out exactly was the reason that I shouldn't have played out the Stomping Ground now. Because I might want to shock myself if this land will die. I don't get snuffed, so... Okay. I like my spot here. I have sneaky lethal next turn. The opponent doesn't know that. So the dream is, like, put lures to hand, but that's obviously like a pipe dream. Let's see what this is. Oh, I think I know what this is. I thought it was bone shards for a second. Turns out it's not. Turns out it is. Bone shards kill the Nissa. I still have 3 mana up, so I don't have to, respond here. Nissa's gone. Third land. A braid. Ugh. Yeah. It's very, very good. I'm shuffling my opponent's yard here. My land is gone. I have 3 mana. Come on, baby. First lightning is not terrible. Let's attack our opponent down to 6. They do have a pain land in play. I have a 3/4. Okay. The opponent is build of removal here. The opponent can put Lurrus to hand. Oh, they played that card. Yeah. Okay, so with Lurrus, my opponent can kind of grind me out here. I wonder what I'm even supposed to do. I don't think killing that card does anything. This game is going to be longer, I feel like. There's the escape. Ugh. Okay. So the opponent stabilized here after... I mean, I was kind of all in on that Nissa. I used all my resources. Ragavan, even. Yeah, this is a problem because... my opponent can just replay the Ragavan with Lurrus later. I don't even know. I'm trying to kill the Ragavan and draw, like, Lelia into Gut or something. Lurrus is back in the opponent's hand. I draw Llanowar Elves. I get attacked by a bunch. Okay, we can concede here. Oof, that was, I thought I was in good shape. It's like, I thought I was in terrible shape, then I thought I was in good shape, and turns out I really wasn't. Okay, Lurrus, so it might get a little grindy here. I don't mind the Inferno Titan. I don't mind the incidental Yard Hate. I do mind Manglehorn, so let's just swap Manglehorn for Inferno Titan. I'll have all my stuff for small creatures here. Yeah. Let's try this out. Oh, that was a beating. It's always sick when you get, like, Toxic Deluged out of another creature deck. Like, you can't really plan for it, and now it's going to be in the back of my mind for the next 2 games. Ugh, so brutal. Okay, so this hand has turn 1 Llanowar Elves, turn 2 Copter. Ren at 6 if my opponent has a small creature. Ooze to just, get a little bit of attacking going. Maybe discard it to Copter, let's see. Llanowar Elves, turn 1. Always a good start. The opponent has a lot of removal, though, so let's see. Minsk and Boo, that is gonna be a great card. So I'm gonna play... maybe I actually play Scavenging Ooze now because of Cradle. I played first because of Mana Tithe being in existence. Get in for 1. Let's see if the opponent has any interaction. No. Plow, Path, Dismember, whatever. It looks a lot like Mana Tithe here. I'm gonna keep playing out my stuff around Mana Tithe. So basically, if my opponent does not have a Toxic Deluge, I think this game is over. If my opponent does have a Toxic Deluge, the Minsk and Boo is still there to make their life living hell. Have to exile on the Boo, I mean, I don't mind. I'm gonna go for Mountain to kind of balance my red and green sources. The opponent takes 3 damage. They have to get rid of the Minsk and Boo. And then I still have the other stuff in play, so... pretty dominant spot here. They did show what's the card called Bone Shards last game, so they might have something. Ragavan getting in there. It's possible the opponent will Bone Shards away the Ragavan. Nope. White. What is this? Revoker on the Minskin Boo. Yeah, I'm a big champ here. I have everything I need. Ragavan gets returned. I get a new hamster. So let's see. I can... Is it good to hedge? I don't think so. Like, I'm trying to think about, is it good to hedge against, like, getting swept? So what I can do is I can go Inferno Titan. Yeah, I guess I just Inferno Titan. 3, 4, 5, 6. Inferno Titan, kill Revoker. Do a ton of damage to the opponent. Throw the hamster. 2, 1. Done. So let's see. Now I can go 4 for 7. Yeah, this is perfect. Do I develop the copter? Let's see. Let's do a little bit of math here. 4, 5, 6, 7. If I attack for 7, my opponent's at 7. If they then need to Toxic Deluge, it has to be for 6, and they're just easily... Let's say the perfect scenario. They Toxic for 6, they're down to 1. Then they play a land, Bone Shards this. Then the Ren 6 is still lethal, so... Yeah, no matter how you sliced it there, I was crushing that game. Great, great draw. I wonder if my opponent had that Mana Tithe. That would be amazing. I guess the only way to find out is if I get Mana Tithe game 3, which is not my favorite thing to do at all. The opponent showed Revoker. How much Revoker removal do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe Court is actually not that great against that deck, because it's like creature heavy. But it's also like attrition based, and they showed ton of removal, this and that. The card can backfire. But Manglehorn just doesn't seem very good. Okay, I'll try. I mean, the Court is so... It wins the game, or it's the most painful way to lose the game. That's basically the two modes of that card. On the draw against the Lurrus deck with Ragavan, Toxic Deluge, and great late game in it, I'm not super confident, to be honest. Easy mulligan here, 7 mana sources. Yeah, this is a lot better. Okay, so Mind Collapse is kind of tricky here, because how good is it as a 4 mana removal? Because if I bottom a land, I'm really not looking to sacrifice a land, most likely. I like the Copter, I like the Endurance. I like the Noble. I'll try and get rid of the Mind Collapse. Is that just plain wrong? Let's see. Yeah, maybe that's just wrong. So I can go Forest, Mountain. Okay. I'll try to keep the Mind Collapse. Most likely going to use it as a 4 mana removal. Then I'm going to try and bank on the Smuggler's Copter to like filter my draw so I don't get flooded, filter my draw so I don't get like stuck on a couple of lands. Smuggler's Copter leaves you a bit of flexibility in that department, which is something that's like a natural weakness of red-green normally. The Court. I mean, with Court in the mix, I'm definitely ready to throw a mountain at an opposing creature. The dream is the opponent goes past the turn. Get damned here. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Want to kill the bird, and yeah, there we have it. Okay, okay. It's always like super, super tough in spots like that. Whether you keep the land, risk getting flooded, keep the spell, risk getting screwed. I have a hard time in those situations. Provoker. Name Copter, I would guess. I really need to draw land here. If I don't, I think I'm in huge trouble. Inti. Inti is not terrible. Let's just play that. Get on the board a little bit, pass the turn. Trying to set up a situation here where let's see. Those Inti and Smuggler's Copter are actually pretty good friends, as far as I can tell. When you attack, you may discard a card. If you do, put a +1. Yeah, so whenever you discard one or more cards, you can actually do that twice each turn cycle. Opponent goes Valky. Valky's a decent card. Valky's going to take the Endurance, which is kind of annoying because I'm probably in a spot where I have to kill the Revoker to unlock my Copter, this and that. Okay. Yeah, the court is most likely not going to do anything this game. That's just the reality of the situation. I like the attack from the opponent here. Okay. It's kind of getting to crunch time here, and this really sucks. Okay, so let's kill that card. Hmm. Yeah, I think the court is just straight up bad. Let's attack with that card. I wonder... Well, let's see. Kind of digging for land here. That's not a land. And then it's going to be the same here. Now it's free. I don't have to invest a card in it. Really have to hit a land. Also, my opponent, like with Luris, Revoker for later. The window is closing in here. Yeah, I guess I discard the Mind Collapse. Come on, baby. Okay. That Windswept Heath leaves me with a chance in hell here. You probably get in for 4. Then I play a land. I haven't decided on whether I want to Burst Lightning now or wait, but it's a decent choice to have. Okay, I get in for 4 in the air. Play land, which can go get Stomping Ground, very important. And then I can pass. The opponent knows nothing about my hand. I think they saw Court, Flame Slash, and Mind Collapse alongside the Endurance way back when. Adversary. Okay, so I get to make a kind of a decent tempo play here. The opponent activates. I kill that card in response. Maybe that's not even necessary. Am I just supposed to kill... No, the lifelink is going to be annoying. So let's go... Huh. Wait a minute. It's only one. Okay, I could have waited there. That was actually kind of terrible. Let's see. Then I kill the adversary. Because of lifelink on future turns. I take 3, that's fine. I'm doing well in the race. Pilgrim is not bad. Let's play Fable. Through with that. I don't... am I supposed to discard this Pilgrim? Maybe it just doesn't do anything. Maybe I'm supposed to stack it like this. So draw. Yes. Discard. Because now I know I don't want to discard the gut because it's going to be great next turn. No. My opponent's down to 9. Pass. Then next turn I get in for a bunch. It's tough whether I race the Lurrus or not. Can't really tell. The dream is the opponent does not have the 6th land. Oh, they cracked a clue? The thing is, the gut is so strong, but it's so good to, like, discard to Fable. Okay, Inti is gone. I would guess my opponent... Hey, they don't put Lurrus. Huh. Inferno Titan, not gonna do it this time around. So let's see. I go Gut. I go Crew. And then I can stack it so that I sacrifice the treasure from the Goblin if I get to attack. But I would guess since my opponent did not put Lurrus into hand, they have some kind of interaction. Or maybe, oh, I think I know. They plan to spend 3 mana? No, that's not what they're going to do. Okay. Whatever. So I get Path. That's fine. Let's attack. Get a treasure. That's my 5th mana source. Worth pointing out. Draw. Huh. I guess the land doesn't do anything, but the opponent will most likely trade off my Goblin. Opponent's drawing a card from clearing, getting a bit more info. They block, go to 5. I get the Endurance back. I'm at 5 mana currently. So if the opponent goes 6th land, lures to hand to play it. Let's see. Nice. Foretold card. I draw the 6th land. I think that's game over because now I go... Unless that Mana Tithe is still there, obviously. So let's see. Let's do the Crew. Attack for 4. That's not going to happen. Wow. Okay, the opponent goes to 3 here from Dismember? Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that was a sicko. Really, like, sicko game. Wow. That was amazing. I feel like I wasn't supposed to win this. Like, I was just drew so poorly, like a bad combination of land spells in the beginning. Then I started churning with Inti. My opponent kept like playing reactive spells. But the reality of the situation is if the opponent gets to lure us and bring back the adversary, he'd be in big trouble. But yeah, I don't know. It's so much to unpack in that game. I think also the sideboarding of Inferno Titan kind of proved to be pretty awesome. Yeah, that was just a very, very close match. Could have gone either way, to be honest. That means we're playing for the trophy next match, and yeah, that's always fun, so don't go anywhere. See you soon. Okay, here we are for the finals. I'm playing Red Green Monsters, and this is an unkeepable hand. Let's throw it back for something hopefully way better. Okay, this hand is turn 2 tracker with nothing else. I think I have to keep this hand. Let's get rid of Manglehorn, because if my opponent goes, let's say they go turn 1, like small creature. I like the Renin 6 better. Mountain makes me scared. Okay. Yeah, Mountain makes me very concerned that this tracker is not going to survive. The question is, does this hand really have the luxury of waiting around? Well, maybe I do. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about this, because now I can't even, like, accelerate out the tracker. And, like, I just feel like if I keep that hand, I can also get rid of Chrome Mox and then be the slowest in the world. Maybe that's better. There's an Inti. And there's another land that's terrible. Yeah, this is this is super tough. I'm trying to think about. The thing is, if my opponent goes like island or whatever, I just slam the tracker and get it kind of under counters. But when the opponent went mountain, I think it's just so unlikely it gets killed. Let's see what's going to happen here. Inti discarding Fiery Confluence. Flipping over the Mutt. Guess my opponent doesn't have that many lands if they're confluencing, discarding Confluence, but who knows? There's the third land, so that wasn't the case. The Mutt. Discarding nothing. That's interesting. I could just kill the Mutt here. I think that's decent. The Endurance, remove my opponent's graveyard. Is that really it? Yeah, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hope that my opponent tries to reanimate or pay 2 mana for the Mutt. And then I'm going to respond. The thing is, my opponent is heavily incentivized to discard to Inti no matter what. So I can't really catch my opponent off guard here. They flip over Wooded Foothills. Renin 6 is dead. Palantir. So strong. Let's see. I'm going to mill over the cards. Let's see if I can get any more juice out of the Endurance. Nope. Enough out is milled over. Play Endurance. Okay. Copter's not terrible. Let's get in there. Play tracker, play land, crack blue right away for a couple of reasons. Like my opponent drawing something like burst lightning. Also, like bowmasters, stuff like that. It's possible it's better to, okay, now I just look like an idiot. It's possible playing out Copter would have been better. Especially because I want to, like, cycle my hand. Okay, the opponent discards another situational removal spell. Draw into another land. They have Palantir and Inti going. This is most likely GG's. And there's a Shieldred. Okay. That is a problem. That my deck is not really equipped to deal with. Yeah, I wish that was even close to enough. Minsk and Boo and Copter. Opponent has Shieldred and Inti. I would need to double block either. Then the other one is left standing. Yeah, I'll rather not show my opponent here. Oof. Brutality. Is this another Manglehorn for Inferno Titan matchup? Could very well be. Alright, let's see if we can do better. Ease, that was maybe a terrible, terrible mulligan decision by me. Okay, this hand is good. I can turn 3 Minsk and Boo. I can interact turn 1. I can also slow down things a little bit if I have to. So what are the odds my opponent goes turn 1 creature? Maybe I'm supposed to play this... yeah, I was supposed to play Arid Mesa turn 1, because if my opponent does have a creature, I'm just going to get Stomping Ground and kill it with Burst Lightning. If they don't, I get to fetch tap Tri-land. So yeah, that would have been better. It would have saved me 2 life. That's always something to think about. Like the various scenarios. And the fact that I don't have Taiga. I feel like killing that card and going Inti is going to be better. Kill. Inti. Pass. Escape to the Wilds could be good. Like, I'm quickly playing out my hand, then it's like my refill. Don't him to Torg me, baby. Palantir. Okay, that's acceptable. I'm going to take the damage here. See what the opponent does with the Palantir. 2 top. Yeah, that's the classic. Like on the first one, if you see like a bad card and a good card, I'm not gonna... I took damage from the sneak attack. It's totally fine. I think I like my hand. I'm not gonna use Inti here, am I? No, I don't think so. So I go Minsk and Boo. Attack. No. Okay, the opponent just concedes here. That's just... okay, I have a Minsk and Boo, and that's just game over. So funny thing is, this will provide trample, but... and then I can put counters on it afterwards. Like, let's say there's a world where, I don't know, my hamster gets killed on combat. I haven't activated Minsk yet. My plan was to fling the hamster or whatever. Then I can use Inti to put a +1/+1 counter on something else, and against trample. That means I can +1 onto that creature with trample on the second main phase, even though it's not the hamster. Sometimes there's like some stuff that comes up. I remember playing like Legacy Rhinos. Can pump onto the Rhinos with Minsk. Stuff like that. Okay, so this is gonna come down to the last game. That's pretty cool. Maybe the court is actually bad as well. I feel like I want to go Sakura instead of court. So I go Sakura instead of court, and I go Inferno Titan instead of Manglehorn. Let's see how that works out. Yeah, this is for all the marbles. I just believe on the draw against another creature deck, Court can just backfire. Ugh! I hate mulliganing like decent land spell ratio hands, but I don't think it's good enough to play my first spell turn 3. My opponent also took a mulligan. So now let's see if I'm good enough to bin the Chrome box. Now let's see if this time I don't think I'm gonna, unless my opponent plays like a good creature turn 1, I'm not gonna, shuffle the shuffle the Chrome box to the top of the deck. That was so terrible. Llanowar Elf is not ideal because it does not cast turn 2 Pyromancer, but I think it's fine. I expect my opponent to land cycle end of turn here. Is either that or curve removal spell into 2-drop, which is definitely also worth taking the damage for. Lightning Bolt, cycle. Is this where I'm supposed to be scared? I guess not, because I have the Flame Slash. Let's kill that with Burst Lightning. Hang on to the Flame Slash because Oliphant has 4 toughness. It's kind of awkward here with some tap lands and stuff, but I think that's fine. I'm kind of hoping I get reanimated here. Careful what you wish for. Is this Necromancy? No, it's not Necromancy. It's Bombardier. Okay. Yeah, Bombardier can definitely get out of hand quickly. Might have to kill that card. Let's see. Maybe this is better. Maybe I go Renin 6, return a land, play tap land, and then next turn I can cast 2 spells and hope I don't die in the meantime. Okay. That card's gonna attack me. That's kind of scary. Recurring Nightmare, which, funnily enough, will let my Flame Slash be good here. I can go Flame Slash. Then I go Fetch Forest. Return Forest. And now the dream is kind of that we kind of waste our opponent's time here, and then we endurance our opponent's graveyard. We get the beats going and stuff like that, right? Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher with Recurring Nightmare in hand. I still think I play this endurance out via my opponent's yard. My opponent's hand is Recurring Nightmare, 1 unknown. Prismatic Vista. Go to 11. Play Seasoned Pyromancer. Those lands weren't doing anything anyway. Return a land. I think this is around the time where I don't want fetches anymore. Let's see. The opponent's hand is Recurring Nightmare. Am I attacking here? Then chump blocking. Yeah, probably. Attack for 4. I'm trying to steal this game away now because the Recurring Nightmare is going to be a nightmare if the game goes longer. Is this Inti? That would be so good. Inti is so strong here because then my chump block plan is way worse. Yeah, the opponent's going to attack me. They're discarding their Recurring Nightmare. Let's not hit anything useful here. Sylvan Caryatid is a chump blocker. Good question what I do here. Gonna take the damage here down to 6. Then the opponent can play Sylvan Caryatid. If I can buy time until I can ultimate Renin 6, I should be in good shape. But I'm not sure if that's possible. That was very bad. So let's see. Return Prismatic Vista. I have 5 toughness. 6 toughness, rather. So I think I can make my Renin 6 survive. I don't think I attack here. If I attack, the opponent can just jump block. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Like, this game is awesome. Like, Renin 6 threatening the ultimate. This is going to come down to the wire. I have 4 lands in hand, which is kind of funny. Okay. The opponent discards Cut Down. Let's see what they're hitting here. Seasoned Pyromancer. Ugh, that's so strong. Okay, so the opponent now has a big creature. Wonder why they discarded the Cut Down. I could have done wonders here. So we trade off. I don't take any damage. I can, quote-unquote, flashback my Pyromancer. The opponent also plays Pyromancer, draws 2 cards. That's... Oh, that was like... Oh my god, that's a good reason. Nice Arc Trail. Oof. And then a Pyromancer to draw 2 cards. Wow, that's sick. Yeah, this is gonna be a problem. Minsk and Boo, oh my god. The opponent drew 2 cards. I don't think I'm in a position to, you know, play like super defensive. Let's see. Yes. Put counter on there. So let's see here. If I attack with everything, my opponent needs to find 1 damage and I'm dead. But I'm not sure staying back is that great either. If I attack with everything, my opponent can take the damage, go to 5. Then there's Inti, Seasoned. What if I stay back? The opponent can... They might have to, like, chump attack into Boo. Maybe that's better for me. Oh my god, this is so sick. Turn. Pass. I don't know about this. If my opponent decides to block an elemental, I could finish it off with Ren. Trying to catch my opponent sleeping at the wheel is just... I don't think that's realistic. Wow, this game was awesome. Like, that was very worthy of a finals. It's not good when your opponent taps the Caryatid here so late. Let's see what the opponent can hit on this card. I believe it's a Palantir. Okay. I'm not sure my opponent has any attacks. This is absurd. I think I have to give my opponent the card. Oh, this game is absurd. I'm kind of sad I have all these lands in hand, but I was playing towards The Ren ultimate. Gut. Gut. What happens if... Oh my god. I can go... Kill Inti, draw 4 cards. I might have to drag up my deck list here. What can I hit? Probably not a lot. Mind Collapse would be pretty awesome. Because Mind Collapse plus Renin 6 kills Trumpeteer. Trumpeting Carnosaur. What happens if I go 3 counters on Boo? Attack. No, that's still not going to do it. So my opponent has a 7/6 Trampler. Maybe I'm supposed to kill Inti, draw 4, hit the Mind Collapse, finish off that card. Yeah, I think that's just the play. What a game. Inferno Titan. Is that good enough for much of anything? This is so absurd. Play land. So let's see. Inferno Titan. Kill what? Seasoned Pyromancer? Probably. Yeah, I'm so sad I didn't develop more more mana earlier in the game. But at that time, I was just so focused on the emblem. If I had one more land, I could play out like carry at it. That will probably do it. I feel like the opponent could have... If they just let me block first, the trample will take care of the game. But I guess if they have more removal, it's just, yeah, it's the same. So I go to 1. Necromancy on Inferno Titan. That'll do it. GG's, great match. I was very close to turning the corner a few times, but that didn't happen in the end. Wow, that was so sick. I wonder if I could have played better that game. It's always, when it comes down to the wire, it's always interesting. Yeah, I feel like the turn where it was obvious I was going to double block, I liked the cut down on my Pyromancer from my opponent's side of the table, because then, I mean, I commit the double block, I lose my 2/2, and that's huge for they get to keep the 6/5 Bone Crusher. And then in the end here, obviously I'm not throwing any shade at my opponent or whatever, it's just I'm trying to like learn and hopefully inspire a little bit here. So if my opponent attacks with the Trumpeteer, let's say I block with Inferno Titan only, then they snuff out, then they trample in for the win. Obviously, didn't matter too much when they had the Necromancy, but it could in like a tight spot. Let's say I survive at 1. I get past a turn, I make a hamster. I win off of Gut Emblem with multiple Burst Lightnings and like Gut attack with 4/4 hamster. I play out like carry at it or whatever, sack that to Gut, get in for lethal. Like that would be a disaster. But yeah, whew, what a great tournament. I really enjoyed this deck. I feel like I mulliganed a bit too much in order to expect to get there in the 3-0, also with no power in it. But this deck really had like a lot of muscle, especially when it played on curve. Minsc and Boo showed that sometimes it's just like 4 mana win the game. Yeah, beautiful. I love this archetype. Didn't exactly go my way here in the deciding match, but very hard to complain after a great game of Magic like that. Okay, that's gonna do it for today. Thanks so much for watching. I need some fresh air after that one. That was a tough one to navigate. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for more sweet magic.